13th chapter.
Glory to you, O Lord.
At that very hour, some Pharisees came and said to Jesus, "Get away from here, for Herod wants to kill you." Jesus said to them, "Go and tell that fox from me. Listen, I am casting out demons and performing cures today and tomorrow, and on the third day I finish my work. Yet today and tomorrow and the next day I must be on my way, because it is impossible for a prophet to be killed outside of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often have I desired to gather your children together, as a hen gathers her brood under her wing, and you were not willing. See, your house is left to you. And I tell you, you will not see me until the time comes when you say, 'Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord.'" The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
I hardly ever, as you know, watch much non-news or non-sports related television. And I never watch the so-called reality shows. But I did break down and sample "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here" when our former governor's wife was a participant. The show, which according to what I read about it, is a ripoff of Fear Factor, only with celebrities, requires the contestants to face something they dread the most. So, if for instance you are afraid of snakes, you'll find yourself face to face with a giant anaconda. If you show fear of heights, the chances are you'll be asked to venture forth onto one of those glass vestibules that suspend you in space from the side of the Willis Tower. You get the picture. The show, while terrible, presents us with a truth. All of us fear something. Mice, the dark, clowns make up the minor list of things we can avoid. But there's a major list as well. Death, being left or abandoned, and, since September of 2000, going broke. Fear is a wake-up call. It's really not something, that feeling of fear is not something that we have to think about. It's part of the primitive portion of our brains. When we spot trouble, our brains sound an alarm and react, ignoring distinctions and only uses generalizations. Sometimes these generalizations are good and result in a "get me out of here" response from real dangers. But at other times, they cause us to lock on to the object of our fear. They result in tunnel vision, and worst of all, they overwhelm our capacities for imagination and advanced reasoning. The fearful one becomes locked on to the present and loses the ability to envision something other than what is now threatening them. The Pharisees were trying to make Jesus afraid of Herod. And Psalm 27 could be the personality profile of Herod and anyone else who causes us to be afraid. Says Peter L. Stanke in the Christian Century, in the context of Psalm 27, the inducers of fear are identified as slanderers, adversaries, breathers of violence, and even betraying relatives. To respond to their threats, the psalmist doesn't appeal to simplistic platitudes such as, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. He refuses to make light of the impending danger as urging everyone who is afraid to make lemonade out of lemons would do. Or suggesting that if one just projects the image of having the right stuff, all will be fine. For the psalmist, says Stanke, if there is to be any encouragement, it is to come from outside the fearful soul. It is God who overcomes our fear, just as God did for Abraham, the psalmist, and Jesus.